Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Shell and today I'm going to be covering my March favorites. The first thing I'm going to kick this off with is a product that I've been dying to dig my hands into, but I've avoided it because I wanted to show you in the packaging. That is the Real Techniques Duo eyeshadow brush set, and this is brand new on the market. It comes with their base shadow brush as well as the deluxe crease brush. And the reason that this is so exciting is because these two brushes have only previously been available in sets, which meant that you had to spend, I think it's between $20 to $30 just to get these two brushes. Now that's really annoying because these two brushes are absolute staples in my collection. I use them every single day. And somehow I've amassed about 4 to 5 of each brush over the years, but it's cost me a lot more money because I've had to get them in different sets. So for them to release this as a duo pack has made my day. I use the fatter one to really work at putting shadow in my crease and diffusing it. It kind of adds that, mid-tone crease shade that's kind of a haze. And then the more precise one I use for blending out that crease shade, depositing more color in that area, as well as really patting color into the outer V area of my eye. I cannot say enough how happy I am that they have come out with this duo pack, because it's really some of the most vital eyeshadow brushes that they have, and everyone needs to own these. It feels like every single month I have a new Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick love, and for the month of March that has been the shade Nosferatu. I have worn this with a lot of really bright red eyeshadow colors, and I feel like this is a good contrast. I mean, it's in the same color family, but it's a better contrast because the eyeshadows are quite bright, and this is a bit more of a darker red. Of course, there is the vampire connection because this is Nosferatu, and it's more of a deep blood red that dries a little bit darker than what you see in the tube. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm starting to come to terms with the dryness of liquid lipsticks. I'm not as comfortable as everybody else seems to be, but I've learned to really love the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I like the colors, and I think that's obviously a lot to do with it, but the formula is good enough for me to wear when I'm out socializing with people and not have to worry about it like getting all over my mouth, basically. However, if I am eating food, I do struggle a little bit, and I have had like smearing outside the lip line when I'm being kind of sloppy. But in general, if I'm just talking and having a few drinks, this stuff is absolutely fantastic and it looks flawless. You may have seen my St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial, and I used the Charlotte Tilbury Rebel Quad for that tutorial. And I had no intention of really using this quad for that tutorial until like the week before I started playing around with all my green shadows just because I wanted to see what I wanted to use for a tutorial. And I couldn't believe how much I had forgotten I loved this. It's like anything, you get something, you use it for the first week, and then all of a sudden it disappears in the back of your makeup collection. That's what happened with this quad, and as soon as I used it again, I was like, oh, you are so good, and now I remember why. While all of the colors are really fun in here, the shade that I love the most is this one right here, and this is referred to as the smoke color in the quad. They don't each have individual names, but this is like the smoke shadow. And this is a deep emerald green with like, it's a forest type color. It's deep, it's rich, it's really, really beautiful. And honestly, I don't think I have a dupe for this shadow anywhere in my collection, which is kind of surprising, to be honest, because I've got a lot of eyeshadow. So this quad is pretty expensive. Charlotte Tilbury makeup is expensive AF. I think it was like $64, but it's one of those luxury high-end brands that I don't mind spending the money on just because I seem to enjoy every single product. So you may or may not be aware, but Charlotte Tilbury is a makeup artist out of the UK, and her products were originally launched in the UK and they've come to North America in the last year or two. So you can get them in Canada pretty easily. They sell them in store at Holt Renfrew, and you can shop online as well. Anyway, the Rebel was a huge hit for me in March and seasonally appropriate for St. Patrick's Day. An item that has kind of made its way into my morning skincare routine is something that I didn't think I was gonna talk about, and then I was like, well, why not? Is this sponge thing. I think this is said Konjac Sponge. I don't think it's pronounced cognac because that's an alcoholic drink, but this is spelled Konjac. And I don't know if that's the brand or the type of sponge. If you know, please correct me in the comments. Let me know what's up with this sponge. But this is basically a sponge on a little rope. So I've been using this in the morning to cleanse my face. I wet it in the shower water and it expands. It's about at 50% size right now because it is a little bit damp still from the shower I had this morning. And I apply my facial cleanser on this and then just rub it onto my face. And originally I was like, why do I want to add an extra step in the mornings? I'm already pressed for time. I need to get out the door. I don't want to add something else in. And then I used it a handful of times and I'm like, you know what? I'm really enjoying this. It's really soothing. Instead of using my hands to wash my face, I'm using this and it's just really nice. I think it's exfoliating a little bit because there is like some texture to the sponge. And I don't know, I feel like I just get a better clean on my face when I'm using this. So even though it's an extra little step in the mornings that I probably don't need to add in, I've just really enjoyed using this sponge. Also, does anybody know how often I need to replace these? Because I have no clue. All right, and the last item I have to talk about is a mascara. And I ended up in a really weird situation a few weeks ago where I completely ran out of mascara. And maybe that's not strange to some people, but for somebody who has so much makeup in their collection, is constantly receiving samples either from Sephora or from PR, there's usually an overabundance of mascara in my life. So when I went into my backup stash and realized I had no mascara, I was like, what the hell? So I remembered that I had done a recent Essence unboxing of their spring and summer 2017 collection, and there was 4 mascaras in that box. So I kind of looked at the mascaras online first to figure out if they were going to be the types of wands that I was interested in. And the only one that really appealed to me was the Essence The False Lashes mascara, in particular the Dramatic Volume Unlimited one. And it has a conical wand, which I'm quickly learning is pretty much the be-all end-all for mascara wands for me. It just works really, really well. And the mascara wand is not too big. Now, I have really struggled with Essence mascaras in the past, not because they don't perform well, but because I just don't like the brushes. I prefer something smaller, and in general, I feel like Essence brushes have been really, really big. So I saw this, opened it, and I went, ooh, I think you can work. And it does. The brush is perfect for getting everywhere I want on my lashes. Because it's tapered, I can really get into the corners, which is usually a problem spot for me. And I just really like it. It's super black, it's super pigmented, it gives longevity, it gives length to my lashes, it gives volume. It just looks really, really good. And for once, I'm not wearing false lashes in this video, so you can judge for yourself what you think of this mascara. It's currently about 5:30 p.m. and I've been wearing it since 7:30 a.m. this morning. And I don't really suffer from fallout or flakiness from this mascara. It happened to me once in 2 or 3 weeks, which I think is pretty reasonable. And even better with Essence, this is like probably a $3 to $5 mascara. You can always count on them to have really reasonable price tags, and it's at the drugstore, which makes it readily accessible for a lot of people. All right, that's gonna be it for my March favorites. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.